Ladies and gentlemen, hear me today, not just with your ears, but with your spirit, because I came to shake something loose in you. I came to speak to the time wasters, to the dream delayers, to the purpose procrastinators. Procrastination is not just an innocent habit. It is the silent thief that creeps into your life, steals your time, and robs you of your potential, and it does this not by force, but by distraction. You see, procrastination doesn't always appear as a loud, obvious villain. It's more subtle than that. It's that soft whisper that convinces you to delay your dreams until tomorrow. It convinces you that you have all the time in the world, even though the truth is that time is the one thing you can never get back. When you put off today what you know you need to do, you are actively pushing your future further out of reach. And every day you wait, you waste, and with every day you waste, your potential grows more distant. The things you were born to achieve, the difference you were meant to make in this world, those things sit on hold, waiting, while procrastination whispers in your ear, telling you it can wait. But the truth is, it can't wait. The thing about procrastination is that it builds momentum. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to begin. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. And before long, that cycle has lasted for months, maybe even years. You look back and you realize you've spent more time putting off your purpose than you've spent pursuing it. You've wasted precious time in the pursuit of nothing, and now you're further away from your goal than you were the day you first had the vision. But here's the thing, delayed action is not just about missed opportunities. It's about missed growth. You may feel like, well, if I just take a break today, it won't matter in the long run. But what you're not seeing is that the break you think you're taking is actually costing you progress. Every moment you delay is a moment you're not learning, you're not developing, you're not improving, you're not becoming the person you need to be to fulfill your purpose. The longer you wait, the more you push back the person you are meant to become. And the longer you wait, the more you forget how much you truly want to achieve. Your vision grows cloudy, your passion fades, and what was once an urgent call to action becomes a distant thought, like a dream that fades as soon as you wake up. You stop dreaming and you start existing. Let me tell you something. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. No matter how talented you are, no matter how gifted you are, no matter how much potential you have, if you don't act, you will never see the fruit of your effort. And that's not just about career or business goals. That's about your growth as a person, your spiritual development, your relationships, your health, and your destiny. Every time you decide to push off that decision or delay that action, you rob yourself of the opportunity to learn from your mistakes, to grow in your abilities, and to experience the successes that come from effort. Success is not an overnight event. It's a product of consistent action. Every small action, every small step you take today compounds into something greater tomorrow. And guess what? Every day you procrastinate is a day you miss that compound effect, and the gap between where you are and where you want to be gets wider. I need you to understand something today. The greatest enemy of your future is not a lack of opportunity. It's not a lack of resources. It's not even a lack of talent. The greatest enemy of your future is your inability to act now. The opportunities will come, the doors will open, and the resources will align, but they'll only align if you're ready to walk through them. But you can't walk if you're stuck in a place of delay, procrastinating on things that you know deep down need to be done. Imagine if you kept waiting for the perfect time to take action. There will always be something that feels like the wrong time, an obstacle, a fear, a doubt, a setback. If you keep waiting for everything to line up perfectly, you'll wait forever. There will never be a perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you create when you take action right now. I need you to get this deep in your spirit today. Delayed action leads to missed opportunities. Time doesn't wait for anyone, and it certainly doesn't wait for you to get your act together. When you procrastinate, you allow fear, insecurity, and doubt to hold you captive. Don't let fear dictate your pace. Don't let the fear of making mistakes keep you stuck in the same place. I'm not saying that everything you do will be perfect. You will fail, you will stumble, you will mess up. But guess what? Failure is a part of the process. Failure teaches you, it builds you, it strengthens you for the journey ahead. But if you never take the first step because you're afraid to fail, then you'll never learn, never grow, and never get closer to your destiny. The message I have for you today is clear. Stop procrastinating. Time is passing. Your purpose is waiting. Your destiny needs you to move, to act, to do something now. Comparison is one of the most insidious traps that many people fall into, often without even realizing it. The danger of comparison is that it doesn't just affect how you view others. It has a profound impact on how you view yourself. When you start measuring your life against the life of someone else, you lose sight of your own purpose, your own journey, and ultimately your own power. It begins innocently enough. You see someone doing something that you admire, and maybe you start to think, I wish I could do that, or they have what I want. But before you know it, comparison takes root and begins to grow. You begin to measure your achievements, your progress, and your worth against theirs. And this is where the danger lies. When you compare, you are no longer focused on your path, your gifts, or your growth. Instead, you're obsessed with someone else's timeline, someone else's talents, and someone else's circumstances. The problem is, you are not them. You were not created to walk their path. You were not designed to live their story. You were given a unique purpose and a set of gifts that no one else possesses. So why waste time comparing your start to someone else's finish? The person you're comparing yourself to may have started their journey at a different time, or they may have been through experiences that shaped their story in ways you will never fully understand. When you compare your progress to theirs, you rob yourself of the opportunity to fully appreciate where you are and how far you've come. Comparison blinds you to your own greatness. Every time you look at someone else and wish you had what they have, you overlook the power that lies within you. Your journey is not their journey, and your progress will not be their progress. But as long as you continue to compare, you will feel inadequate, frustrated, and as if you're falling short. In reality, you are exactly where you need to be. There is no race, there is no timeline you must adhere to. Your time is your time, and the path you are walking has been uniquely designed for you. More often than not, comparison leads to self-doubt. You begin to question your own abilities, your potential, and your worth. Why can't I be as successful as they are? Why am I not moving as fast as they are? But what you fail to realize is that their success is their success. What they have is the result of their decisions, their work, and their unique set of circumstances. You are not in competition with them, you are in competition with yourself. The only person you need to measure yourself against is the person you were yesterday, not someone else's highlight reel. When we compare ourselves to others, we also tend to overlook the struggles that come with their success. We see their victories, their accomplishments, their polished, perfect lives on social media, but we fail to see the behind. The scene's effort, the sacrifices, the sleepless nights, and the failures that were required to get to that point. Success is not something that happens overnight. It is the culmination of hard work, resilience, and persistence. But comparison doesn't allow us to see this. It paints a distorted picture and makes us think that success should be quick and effortless. And when our progress doesn't align with that false narrative, we get discouraged. The only healthy comparison is the comparison between who you are now and who you were yesterday. It's not about looking at someone else and wishing you were them. It's about looking inward and asking yourself, am I better today than I was yesterday? It's about measuring your progress against your own potential and challenging yourself to go further, to grow more, and to do better. You are the standard. Your own development, your own journey is what matters. When you stop comparing, you begin to see the beauty and value in your own story. You begin to realize that the challenges you've faced, the experiences you've had, and the lessons you've learned are yours. No one else has lived your life. No one else has walked through your struggles, and no one else has the potential to accomplish what you are capable of achieving. But as long as you stay fixated on someone else's journey, you will never fully step into your own greatness. Instead of looking at others, focus on your own journey. Take inventory of your talents, your achievements, and the obstacles you've overcome. Celebrate your growth, no matter how small it may seem. Recognize that every step forward is progress, even if it doesn't look like what someone else's success looks like. Your success is uniquely yours, and it will come in its own time and in its own way. When you stop comparing and start focusing on your own path, you'll find that your confidence grows. You will no longer feel threatened by the success of others because you will realize that their success doesn't diminish your potential. There's more than enough room for everyone to succeed, and your time will come when you stop measuring your worth by someone else's standard. So I challenge you today, stop comparing. Stop looking at others and thinking you are falling short. Focus on your own purpose, your own progress, and your own journey. Embrace your uniqueness and trust that the path you are on is the one that's meant for you. Your greatness is not defined by what others are doing. It's defined by what you are doing. Keep moving forward, stay focused on your mission, and trust that your success will come in due time. Entertainment is one of the greatest distractions of our time, and for many, it has become an addiction. The world around us is filled with endless options for entertainment. Social media, television shows, streaming platforms, video games, and the list goes on. There's nothing wrong with indulging in entertainment every once in a while, but the problem arises when entertainment starts to take priority over your purpose, your dreams, and your goals. When entertainment begins to consume your time, it becomes a numbing agent, blocking you from engaging with your true potential and keeping you stuck in a cycle of avoidance. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of entertainment. It's an escape. It provides a brief moment of relief from the pressures of life, the challenges of pursuing your dreams, and the demands of personal growth. But the problem with constantly turning to entertainment as a way to escape is that it ultimately disconnects you from the present moment. It numbs you to the urgency of your aspirations. Instead of focusing on what you can build, create, or achieve, you find yourself lost in hours of mindless scrolling, binging series, or playing games that have no real purpose or long-term value. What you fail to realize is that every minute you spend on entertainment is a minute you can't get back. Every hour spent on distractions is an hour not invested in your future. You see, while you're sitting in front of a screen, someone else is taking action. Someone else is using their time to build, to grow, to learn, and to develop. And as you continue to allow yourself to get caught up in these distractions, you're falling further behind. Entertainment, when overconsumed, traps you in a cycle of instant gratification, where your need for temporary pleasure overrides your pursuit of long-term success. This is where the danger lies. You start living for the next moment of enjoyment, and you lose sight of the bigger picture, the one that demands hard work, discipline, and focus. The entertainment industry, in particular, thrives on keeping your attention, on keeping you hooked. It's designed to be addictive. It uses algorithms, catchy headlines, and engaging content to draw you in and keep you watching. And with every click, every scroll, the platform knows how to keep you invested, how to keep you distracted, how to prevent you from looking away. But what happens when you look away from entertainment and start focusing on what you can create, what you can accomplish? The truth is, the moment you stop letting entertainment control your time, you take back control of your life. You take back your focus, your energy, and your purpose. Now, I'm not saying that entertainment is inherently bad. There's a place for rest, for relaxation, for having fun. A healthy dose of entertainment can refresh your mind, spark creativity, and provide much needed relaxation. But the line between healthy entertainment and entertainment overload is often blurred. You need to ask yourself, how much time are you investing in something that will bring you no closer to your dreams? How many hours are you spending in front of a screen when you could be spending those same hours learning a new skill, growing your business, developing your body, or building meaningful relationships? Time is one thing you cannot buy back. Every hour wasted in front of a screen is a missed opportunity to do something that moves you closer to your calling. If you're honest with yourself, you know that too much entertainment doesn't fill you up. It leaves you feeling empty. At first, it offers that quick hit of enjoyment, but it's fleeting. Eventually, you find yourself back at square one, feeling unfulfilled, uninspired, and stuck. Entertainment becomes a way to avoid your responsibilities, your dreams, and your potential. It becomes a way of numbing the discomfort of progress, the discomfort of growth, the discomfort of stepping out of your comfort zone and facing the hard work it takes to succeed. Think about this for a moment. How often do you turn to entertainment when faced with a challenge? How often do you pull up your favorite show or scroll through your feed when you should be tackling a difficult task? This avoidance tactic robs you of growth. It keeps you stagnant, and the more you let it, the more you train yourself to avoid the very things that will lead you to success. What would happen if you used all the time you spend on entertainment to focus on personal development? What if you dedicated just an hour a day to working on your goals, to reading, to learning a new skill? Imagine where you would be in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. The difference between where you are now and where you could be is all in how you manage your time. Let me be clear. I'm not asking you to cut out entertainment completely. That's unrealistic and unnecessary, but I am asking you to evaluate how much of your time is consumed by it and whether that time is truly contributing to the person you want to become. The reality is, entertainment can be a powerful tool when used in balance. It can offer relaxation, creative inspiration, and social connection, but it should never be your escape from reality. Your purpose requires more than mindless scrolling. It requires you to wake up and engage with the world around you, to take responsibility for your life and your future. Start taking control of your time today. Set boundaries for how much entertainment you allow into your life. Use entertainment as a reward, not as a substitute for meaningful work. Invest your time in things that will help you grow, things that will bring you closer to your purpose. The more time you spend focused on building, learning, and improving yourself, the more fulfilling your life will be. You were created for greatness, but you'll never reach your potential if you're constantly distracted by the noise of entertainment. Toxic relationships are one of the most dangerous distractions in life, and they can have a far-reaching impact on your ability to achieve your goals and walk in your purpose. Relationships are meant to add value, but when they are filled with negativity, manipulation, or dysfunction, they drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and slow your progress. Many people find themselves stuck not because of a lack of talent or resources, but because they are surrounded by people who are holding them back. Whether it's family, friends, co-workers, or acquaintances, toxic relationships are often disguised as something harmless or worse, something necessary. But the reality is, they are toxic to your soul, your mindset, and your future. At the core, toxic relationships breed negativity. They feed off doubt, fear, and insecurity. The people you surround yourself with have a direct influence on how you think and feel about yourself. If you're constantly surrounded by individuals who belittle you, who criticize your dreams, or who make you feel small, You will start to believe that your aspirations aren't possible. You'll start to believe that the goals you've set are out of reach. When you're constantly being told that you're not good enough or that your dreams are unrealistic, it becomes easy to doubt your own potential. It creates a mindset of limitation instead of a mindset of possibility. Toxic people will tell you what you can't do, but they won't encourage you to pursue what you were born to do. These relationships often create a sense of dependency. You might find yourself compromising your own values, your peace, and your ambitions just to keep the peace with toxic people. You become entangled in their drama, their insecurities, and their issues, and in doing so, you lose sight of your own path. Instead of focusing on building your dreams, you're caught up in fixing or managing their problems. This dynamic can keep you from growing, from becoming the person you were created to be, and from living a life of purpose. You may even feel guilty for distancing yourself from these toxic relationships, but here's the truth: self-preservation is not selfish. In fact, it's necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you continue to invest your time and energy into toxic people, you will eventually find yourself drained and without the capacity to pursue your own goals. Toxic relationships also tend to keep you stuck in the past. These relationships often bring up unresolved issues, past hurts, and old wounds that keep you looking backward instead of forward. You'll find yourself rehashing the same arguments, reliving the same painful moments, and dealing with the same toxic behavior over and over again. This constant cycle of emotional turmoil leaves little room for growth, for healing, or for moving forward. It becomes harder to take the necessary steps to improve your life when you're weighed down by emotional baggage that someone else is constantly throwing at you. Your future cannot be built on the foundation of the past, especially when that foundation is full of toxic energy. The fear of confrontation often keeps people in toxic relationships longer than they should be. They fear the discomfort that comes with standing up for themselves, setting boundaries, or even walking away from relationships that no longer serve them. But here's the truth: growth requires discomfort. You will never move forward if you continue to allow toxic people to influence your decisions, your actions, and your mindset. You need to have the courage to distance yourself from individuals who make you feel less than who you are, who try to manipulate you into staying in unhealthy dynamics, and who undermine your ability to succeed. Moreover, toxic relationships are often rooted in manipulation. They may not always be blatant, but they have a way of pulling you into situations where you feel obligated to give more than you should. These individuals may use guilt, shame, or emotional blackmail to get what they want from you. And while this might seem harmless in the moment, over time, it chips away at your sense of self, worth, and your ability to make decisions that are in your best interest. If you're constantly accommodating others at the expense of your own well-being, your focus on your dreams, your goals, and your future will slip away. One of the hardest things to realize is that not all relationships are meant to last. There are people in your life who have served their purpose, and that purpose may have been to teach you a valuable lesson. But holding on to people who are no longer aligned with your growth can hold you back. It's important to recognize when it's time to walk away, whether it's from a friendship that's become unhealthy or a relationship that no longer supports who you are becoming. Every time you let go of a toxic relationship, you make room for healthy, supportive relationships that encourage your growth and push you closer to your purpose. The reality is, your future is too important to be tied to people who don't believe in your vision or who drag you down emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You need to surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, who encourage you, and who hold you accountable. Healthy relationships are built on trust, mutual respect, and shared values. These are the kinds of people who will walk with you on your journey, who will cheer you on as you face challenges, and who will celebrate your successes. In closing, toxic relationships rob you of your time, energy, and mental peace. They cloud your judgment, hinder your progress, and keep you stuck in patterns of negativity. But the moment you choose to let go of toxic relationships and prioritize your well-being, you open yourself up to a future filled with opportunity, growth, and success. You are worthy of relationships that elevate your relationships, that inspire you to become the best version of yourself. It's time to protect your peace, reclaim your energy, and surround yourself with the right people who will help you build the life you were meant to live. Perfectionism is one of the most insidious barriers to success and fulfillment. It often masquerades as a desire for excellence, but in reality, it is a trap that keeps people stuck in a cycle of procrastination, self-doubt, and frustration. Perfectionism tells you that nothing you do will ever be good enough. It keeps you from taking risks, from putting your work out into the world, and from stepping into the fullness of your potential. The pursuit of perfection can paralyze you and prevent you from making the progress that is necessary to achieve your dreams. At the heart of perfectionism is a fear of failure. Perfectionists are terrified of making mistakes, or of not living up to their own impossibly high standards. They believe that if they don't do something perfectly, they are somehow failing, and this fear of failure can prevent them from even starting in the first place. They may spend hours, days, or even weeks perfecting a single project, only to find that the pursuit of perfection delays their progress and often leads to frustration and burnout. Instead of celebrating small wins and progress, they focus on what's not perfect, keeping them in a constant state of dissatisfaction and self-criticism. One of the most damaging aspects of perfectionism is that it often leads to inaction. Instead of taking the necessary steps forward, perfectionists spend their time obsessing over every detail, trying to get everything just right. They're afraid that if they don't have everything perfectly aligned, their efforts won't be successful. But the truth is, success is not built on perfection. It's built on progress. The only way to achieve anything worthwhile is by taking imperfect action, learning from your mistakes, and adjusting along the way. The fear of not being perfect keeps many people from even attempting to start, and in doing so, they miss out on opportunities for growth, learning, and eventual success. Another dangerous aspect of perfectionism is that it creates an unrealistic expectation of yourself. Perfectionists set standards for themselves that are often unattainable, which leads to disappointment and frustration when they inevitably fall short. This constant sense of failure can chip away at your confidence, making you believe that you're not capable of achieving your goals. It becomes a vicious cycle. The more you strive for perfection, the more you set yourself up for disappointment, which leads to further fear of failure and even more inaction. Over time, this cycle can cause you to lose sight of your dreams altogether, as you become consumed with the pursuit of an unattainable ideal. Perfectionism also feeds into the comparison trap. When you're striving for perfection, you're constantly measuring your progress against others. You look at other people's successes, and you compare them to your own efforts, often feeling like you're falling short. You begin to feel like everyone else is succeeding effortlessly, while you're struggling to get everything just right. The truth is, no one is perfect. The people you compare yourself to may have their own struggles, their own failures, and their own imperfections. But when you're caught up in perfectionism, it becomes easy to overlook these realities and focus on what you perceive as others' flawless success. This only deepens the feeling of inadequacy and sets you back further in your pursuit of your own goals. The pressure to be perfect also causes stress and burnout. Constantly striving for perfection requires an immense amount of energy, and over time, this can lead to physical and mental exhaustion. You become so focused on making everything flawless that you lose sight of your well-being. The need to always be perfect leaves no room for rest, reflection, or recovery. You may feel overwhelmed by the weight of your own expectations, and as a result, you may become disconnected from the joy of the journey. Instead of enjoying the process of creating, growing, and learning, you're bogged down by the relentless need to get everything exactly right. This exhaustion can leave you feeling unmotivated, defeated, and stuck. In reality, imperfection is a part of life. Every successful person has made mistakes, encountered setbacks, and faced failures along the way. It's through these imperfections that growth occurs. It's through the process of trial and error, of learning from missteps, that you develop the resilience and skills necessary to succeed. Perfectionism tells you that failure is something to be avoided at all costs. But in reality, failure is an essential part of the journey. Each failure teaches you something valuable, whether it's about your skills, your mindset, or your approach. The most successful people aren't those who never fail, but those who are willing to fail and keep moving forward regardless. Perfectionism also robs you of creativity. When you're obsessed with getting everything perfect, you close yourself off to the creative process. Creativity thrives in a space where mistakes are seen as opportunities to learn and grow, not as something to be feared or avoided. When you're too focused on perfection, you're stifling the very thing that drives innovation and progress. Creative breakthroughs happen when you take risks, when you experiment, and when you allow yourself to make mistakes. Trying to make everything perfect before you put it out into the world prevents you from experimenting, from trying new things, and from developing your own unique voice. The key to overcoming perfectionism is learning to embrace imperfection and to see it as a natural and necessary part of the growth process. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Commit to showing up, taking action, and learning from every experience. Understand that mistakes are not failures. They are stepping stones on the path to success. Let go of the fear of imperfection and start embracing the journey, knowing that each step forward, no matter how imperfect, brings you closer to your goals. Progress, not perfection, is what leads to success. Let go of the need to be perfect. Take action, make mistakes, learn and grow. And remember that your worth is not determined by how flawless your work is, but by your ability to keep moving forward, no matter what. In conclusion, the key to unlocking your full potential and achieving your dreams is recognizing the distractions that are holding you back and making a conscious choice to stop wasting time on them. Whether it's toxic relationships, perfectionism, entertainment, or procrastination, these forces are keeping you from the greatness that lies within you. Time is the most precious resource you have, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. You must be intentional with how you use it, and that means choosing to invest in things that propel you toward your goals, not things that keep you stuck. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. You are already equipped with everything you need to take the next step. You don't have to be perfect, but you must be consistent. You don't need to have everything figured out, but you do need to take action. It's time to surround yourself with people who encourage you, not drain you. It's time to stop seeking comfort in entertainment and start seeking progress in growth. It's time to let go of the need to be perfect and embrace the beauty of imperfection, knowing that it's through taking imperfect action that you build the life you desire. Your future is in your hands, and today is the day you can begin to make a real change. Focus on what truly matters, invest in your growth, and commit to creating the life you deserve. Don't let anything or anyone steal your time, your energy, or your focus. Take charge and walk boldly toward your destiny, knowing that each step you take is one step closer to becoming the best version of yourself.